One of the things that, since I remember, I love is chocolate and video games. And I want to make my own games, and the fastest way to do it is using an engine. I already start to create my own games only by code, but it's like try to reinvent the wheel, do you know? So I started thinking about learn how to use one of the famous engines like Unity, Unreal, Game Maker, but my PC is not too good to use Unity and Unreal, and my wallet too small to both Game Maker. So I start to learn Godot, and these videos, these devlogs, will be about the game that I am making to learn how to create games in this engine. The idea from this game arises when I tried to participate in a Brazilian game jam from the channel André Young. I had this idea in the time, but I didn't make the game. And now I think that is a good idea, and I get very excited about how I'm gonna program this thing. So basically it is a puzzle game. You are this golem guy that can throw parts of his body to kill enemies, active things, get more fast and light, to complete puzzles and etc. But if you are without some specific part, you can't do some things. Like if you are without your arms, you can't pull and push objects. And if you are without your leg, you can't jump very high. So the main objective of the game is to manage your parts to get to the end of the level. This is the basic mechanic that I want for the game. I will create other things later, but with this idea we can practically program half of the game. Like in Celeste, if you have the mechanic of jump and dash, you have half of the game already, do you know? If you have the mechanic of farming in Stardew Valley, you have half of the game, practically. I already had some arts for the game, so I started a Trello board to manage the game things like art, programming, game concepts, game design, and etc. Then I followed a tutorial from the channel Hurt Beast, and what I got was this. Such an amazing game. Will be on a scene tomorrow. Then I made the camera system that needs some improves and was ready to start the mainly part of the game, the body throw system. The system itself is not too complicated. I think the most difficult part of it will be the animations and sprites, but for now I will make the basics of the game before start to draw these things. To do the system, I started searching on YouTube for a tutorial, but didn't go very well. So I made more drawings like the rock that will move to pass between levels in the future. While the speedrun goes, I'm gonna talk about the story of the game. I know that it's not time for it now, because I just have the idea of the game, but it's good to have a base of the story to draw the scenarios and these kind of things, do you know? I tried to talk about existentialism and consciousness. I get a long time to learn how to pronounce these things in this game. It's a very interesting philosophy, and it's not very normal to appear in games. I'm reading and searching about it in a book that I have here, but in the future I will search more specific theories. I tried to do the throw system using another tutorial, and in the start it didn't go very well, but I fixed part of the things and got something better. Then I adjusted the gravity of the arm, and that it is. To finish this base, I configured the layer of the object, thus your arm collides with the floor and the rock, but not with your body. I need to change the sprite of the thrown object and the sprite of the player corresponding with which part we are throwing. And the collision shape depends on the part that we are throwing and etc. But I will make it later. Apparently the Trello website dropped out for some hours, and to better prepare my project, I decided to start a board on Miro. There, I started to make a timeline of the things that I'm going to implement and develop. After all, I started to think about when was time to stop and post a video about. Talking more about these videos that I'm planning to make until I finish the game. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work. I ever watch other channels that make things like that here at YouTube, like Mrs. Easy, Devlog, Randall, Danny, but I don't have enough videos to show and even a good camera to make time lapse like Devlog. Videos to show, I mean eye coding or something like this. I need to find my style of devlogs, and it wasn't this bad quality that I was expecting to start my devlogs, but you need to start from somewhere, right? Another thing, I watch like Randall and Danny videos and they are so funny, but I feel like my video is a little boring. Anyway, till the next video, I will try to improve. After all, that I was expecting to start my devlogs, but you need to start from somewhere. Existentialism and consciousness. Consciousness.
Existentialism and consciousness.
Existentialism and consciousness.
Existentialism and consciousness.
Existentialism.
Existentialism and consciousness. Existentialism and consciousness.
Existentialism and consciousness. Consciousness.